Hey y'all, I'm having one of those bad days, and I thought I would come on because homeschooling and life is not always warm and fuzzy. If you're watching, I want you to give me a heart, a like, or a comment if you too live life where sometimes things aren't perfect. I'm standing in my youngest son's rooms, and on their beds are bags because I walked in to vacuum this morning and the floor was covered with laundry. Now, I don't know about you, but this is one of my pet peeves. And I have been talking to the kids that, okay, someday you're going to be living with a woman that's not going to think that this is okay. You can't just leave your laundry all over the floor. So I bagged it. If I was a mean strict mom, I might take the bags and I might donate them, because this is not the first time that we've talked about laundry. Homeschool and life are like spaghetti, messy spaghetti, the kind that when you slurp up the noodles, it spits all over you and stains your shirt. Spaghetti. Everything's all mixed together. Life skills, expectations, goal setting, organization, math, science, writing, all the things. Laundry. I would love to hear what your pet peeves are at your house. At my house, they're little things like just replace the toilet paper roll. Please put your laundry in your dresser. Now, in case you think that my kids don't have enough space for their laundry, I would like for you to look at the size of their dresser. It's huge. It's bigger than mine. And there's no reason for them not to be able to put their laundry away. So this is a pet peeve of mine. The other pet peeve is when you're doing schoolwork and you spread it all over the house from the north, south, east, and west corner, and then you don't pick up after yourself after a week or 2 or 10. I left a Post-it on one of my kids' laptops the other day. I'm like, please, before you go to bed, clean up my kitchen table. And sure enough, the pencil shavings are still on my table. I don't like being the mean mom. I don't. But I'm here to tell you that sometimes you have to be the unfun parent. You have to actually parent. We were watching a show together last night, and the teenage son in the show was doing inappropriate things on the computer. And his mom said, you can do your schoolwork out in the living room. And he said, but my computer is here. And she goes, and she went and she started unplugging it, and he started to freak out. And she's like, help me carry that. Let's go out. So they get out into the living room, and he's like, this is ridiculous. And she's like, buddy, I love you. This is called parenting. Homeschool has so much more to do with parenting and life skills than it does with academics. And most of the time, I'm cheerful and joyful about it. Today, I'm struggling. So what I do when I am frustrated is I clean. I vacuum. I weed. I do those kinds of things. So that's what I'm out here heading to do. I just bagged up the boys' clothes. I just vacuumed their room, which I didn't need to, but my brain needed it because I'm processing some harder things today, and I needed to vacuum because that helps me get my mind in order. And now I'm going to head outside and I'm going to pull a few weeds because that too helps me get my mind in order. But I want you to know that just because I'm out here on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're watching this video doesn't mean that life is always perfect. I'm not perfect. My husband's not perfect. My kids are not perfect. My house is not always clean. The dog is a twit many days out of the week. And sometimes we get to the academic stuff and sometimes we don't. But at the end of the 25-year journey that I'm looking at right now, I can tell you that even on the hardest days, it's worth it. It's worth it to bag their clothes. And it could be worse. When I was my boy's age, my mom went out of town. And I'll leave you with this story. Please comment. Let me know I'm not alone. Please like, subscribe, do all the things. My mom went out of town because her sister was actually dying of breast cancer. And my dad was left in charge. I came home from work You know those big black garbage cans? There was one in the middle of our kitchen, and he had spray painted the letters CZAR, czar, across it. I walked into the kitchen stunned, like, what is that? He's like, the czar is in charge. Like, okay. He goes, if it hits the counter, it goes to the czar. Like, what? He also had removed all of the silverware from the kitchen except one spoon, one fork, one knife for every one of us. And he had he etched our initials into the silverware, and we were allowed one knife, one fork, one spoon. So the way that the czar, okay, I just bagged their clothes and threw it on their bed. What my father did was, if it hit the counter or it hit the floor, he put it in the can. So you'd find your purse underneath your sister's breakfast, which was underneath your brother's cup of something and trash. It was horrific. But at the same time, he whipped us, and it took us less than a day. And then the house was spotless. Right up until the time, can you guess? My mom came back and took back over. And then we all just went back to our old lazy selves. Homeschooling. Focus on the heart. Focus on the character. Bag your kids' stuff. Or share your funny stories or your challenging stories of how you deal with things that drive you over the edge. Not all days are going to be good. Not all days are going to be perfect. Some days you're going to find yourself like me, short-circuiting, vacuuming, bagging your kids' laundry, vacuuming the universe, and weeding every weed in your backyard. But anyway, love you. Have a great day. And I can't wait to hear your stories.